What is going on, everybody? I'm Retro Bliss, and you are on the Retro Bliss Rewind podcast. Welcome. We're going to have a good show tonight. If you guys are watching from over at Mike's Gaming Gala, we simulcast over there as well. We welcome you as well. We want you guys to hit the likes and be sure you comment in our videos because it helps us reach out to more people. But anyway, we're going to be talking about the Sega Genesis, and we're going to be talking about our top 5 favorites for that console. So without further delay, let's just bring everybody to the stage. Mike from Mike's Gaming Gala.
Hello.
Brian for BD Retro Mods, and no stranger to the Retro Bliss Rewind podcast, Dr. Scott.
Hi.
Nice hat.
Yeah, some really cool guy gave that to me. It was really nice.
Looks good on you, man. I've seen you without a hat on. Keep it on, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, it used to be good, but it's not good anymore.
Yeah, I tell you, I had a full head of hair back in the day, but not anymore. So anyway, so we're gonna do what we normally do is we're gonna go around the horn and we're gonna just start with Mike. But before we do, I want to clarify something. Probably me more so than because I'm the oldest. I really don't have any nostalgia for the Genesis. My kids were little, and I bought them a Super Nintendo. And I never went over to my kids' friend's house. I don't know if they had Genesis or not, but
it'd be a little creepy if you went to your kids' friend's
house. It would have been. It really would have. And so it wasn't until I got into retro gaming. So my experience with the library is very limited, but I think I've got some decent choices anyway. But regardless, we're gonna have some fun tonight and talk about the games that we've picked and why we've picked them. So Mike, why don't you get us going with your number 5, and we'll work our way around.
Yeah, I'll preface this with I have some nostalgia for the Genesis. In our house we had a Super Nintendo, but my best friend had a Genesis, my cousin had a Genesis, and it was kind of funny. We were never part of that whole Sega Nintendo war. I always wanted to go to my friend's house because I would get to play something that I usually don't get to play. And he would always want to come over to my house because he would get to play something that he doesn't usually get to play. And, this was kind of the start of, in more modern terms, the start of like the multi-plats. So you had like Aladdin and you had like Lion King and stuff, and they were both on the Genesis and the Super Nintendo with comparatively minor differences. Mm-hmm. But then it was also a weird time because you would get, like, I had Jurassic Park on the Super Nintendo and my friend had Jurassic Park on the Genesis. And back then I always wanted to play the Genesis one because the graphics were so good. Nowadays, it's really clear that the better game is the Super Nintendo one. Just in terms of gameplay, it still doesn't look as good. But I tried to keep my list. It's part nostalgic, but I didn't own a Genesis until the late 90s. And that was kind of when I started to get into a lot of games. And then obviously through the early 2000s, one of the games on my list, Scott will know because he's a fellow Classic Game Room fan. I learned from Classic Game Room. So not everything on this list is nostalgia, but my number 5 certainly is. And that is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. This is, I think, the most basic game on my list. Everybody loves, every Genesis fan loves Sonic, and my favorite Sonic game was 2. We played.
I think that's my favorite one too. Yeah,
I played it all the time. By the time it came to Sonic and Knuckles, I was really done with the Sonic thing. It kept doubling down on, look, this is cool. Look, this is cool. And I started to get to the age where I wasn't buying it anymore. But Sonic 2 is my favorite of the series. It's got fantastic music. It's got great graphics. It's got great gameplay. I think it's the pinnacle of the gameplay of the series for me personally. But it is, and we've done this before. I did pick this kind of as representative of the Sonic series because there's a lot of fun to have in all of them.
Sonic's a great series. Like I said, I've seen it. I don't really know if I've played it much, but
it's really, pardon the PG-13. It's really the basic bitch answer when you're asking about favorite Genesis games.
Yeah.
But it's my number 5. We're going up from here.
Well, a favorite is still a favorite, and it is a fantastic game. And I thought 3 was decent. But the first one, I can't even play it now. I don't know what it is. I just, because of 2, it ruined the first one for me. I can't play it.
Well, and I think the reason why is because the first one, like the sprites were bigger. Like I think you were kind of closer in on Sonic, and even though if you played the first one and none of the others, he moved fast, but compared to the other ones, he didn't move as fast. And I think that's partly
the whole bait and switch with Sonic is that Green Hill Zone, you get to fly right through it, and then every other level you're stop and go, stop and go, stop and go.
And drowning.
Yes. There is nothing, man, as a kid playing Sonic, there is nothing more terrifying than that music as you're starting to drown. That dun 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 dun. Yeah.
Well, that's a decent choice. I like it. I'm not hating that. So Brian, what was your number 5?
Yeah. So this was hard for me because I did grow up with a Genesis. I actually had my Super Nintendo first, but I had relatives that had the Genesis, and it was probably like a year after I got my Super Nintendo, I also got the Sega Genesis. And in the quote unquote console war was real. I mean, in the sense of like that's probably the one period of time where
that was
really
the real console war.
Yeah. I mean, because each one just kept trying to go a step higher on stuff, and if one brought one big thing out, the next one came out with something very similar, trying to be better at it, and again, I really liked a lot of the Sega stuff at the time. I mean, I liked my Super Nintendo. I'd say my Super Nintendo was probably more, obviously the core Nintendo titles plus Square Enix, which was just Squaresoft at the time, and Enix separately. But for their specific RPGs that were real fun on it. But I mean, I found myself gravitating toward the Genesis more, and so with that, it was extremely hard for me to really just say 5 because there was so much good stuff on the Genesis. And but kind of going with Mike, I did pick the different one, the one he apparently didn't like, but I went with Sonic and Knuckles.
It's not that I didn't like it; it just started to get a little away from what. Yeah.
Right. Well, and again, kind of like you said, it's kind of the whole franchise in itself, because again, prior to Sonic, you didn't have a true Mario competitor. Like there was just nothing that stood up to the
platforming. Tried with Alex Kidd, that didn't cut it.
and it just didn't cut it. And Sonic was finally the one that was able to get there. Obviously, now it's again way off, but because there's been some definitely stinkers in the Sonic franchise. But I digress. But no, Sonic and Knuckles, I picked this one specifically because of the whole lock-on technology, because at the time, I mean, it's absolutely crazy when you look back at it. I mean, the fact that you had this weird cartridge that then literally the other Sonic games snapped onto it to give you extra features. But at the same time, that was the cool part, because like that was never done before. So if you were a Sonic fan and you had those other Sonic games, which at the time I did, I mean, I still have them, but it was cool to kind of get some more mileage out of those old Sonic games by adding Knuckles to it and being able to go through
And I remember my cousin trying every other game he had to see if it would work.
Right.
But see if I can get Double Dragon to go with these guys.
Oh yeah, but no, I mean, again, great stuff, and one of the things like I got to give Sega kudos for is like they weren't afraid to try new things, and like they constantly took risks on unique things like this.
They kind of had to for a while because of licensing. They were struggling to get licensing for a while. Am I right on that?
I mean,
No,
the
by
Master
this
System
stage,
had
no.
the struggle, but
Yeah.
not during the Genesis, because the whole Nintendo monopoly there on stuff kind of all went.
They were able to break that.
That was
Yeah.
during the Master System.
Yeah, the
NES era.
Master System suffered, well, and like Atari 7800, like a lot of those suffered during that 8-bit era. But the lawsuit between Tengen and Nintendo ultimately kind of broke that up a little bit after the fact. So,
Well, another good choice. I
Yeah.
like it. So Dr. Scott, what was your number 5?
Well, I wanted to make a note on Sonic and Knuckles because, interestingly, because I used to have the Sega Genesis Sonic collection for the PS3, and I ended up buying the one for the Xbox 360 because that version you can actually combine the Sonic and Knuckles game with Sonic 2 and Sonic 3, which the other versions you cannot. So I got rid of my PS3 version just because I was like, oh, cool, I can do this on my 360 now. So, but yeah, I really liked that they came up with that for a more modern console. But my first one here, and we've all had difficulty, and we were saying right before the show that it was kind of difficult to come up with, with a definitive 5, and especially since a couple of my real favorites I don't have here physically any longer, but I could still mention them. It's not a big deal because I mean I play a lot of those on these minis now. Or I even have Toe Jam and Earl, which I love that game. I have it on the Xbox 360. I bought that in the Xbox Live Arcade. That would be in my top games. But the one I'm choosing for number 5 is the incomparable Musha. This, I mean, there are great shooters like Truxton, but I think
apparently it is not incomparable because it's only your number 5, Scott.
well,
Just want to say
incomparable to okay, so the incomparable to other
Musha is a
shooters.
great game. I'm busting your balls.
Yeah, incomparable to other shooters. How about that? But I mean, there's other great shooters like Hellfire and those are the only ones on the Genesis. I can't remember any others or any others right now. But
you seriously can't remember?
Let's see, Hellfire,
Sky Shark.
What
Think classic game room.
Fire Shark. Oh gosh, why can't I remember any right now? I'm freezing. That's terrible. I'm gonna hand in my fake PhD. That's it. I am no longer a doctor. But anyway, I think the reason why I pick Musha over a lot of those others is because the music on this is absolutely amazing. Number one, number two, the parallax background is absolutely amazing, and just a lot of the power ups you get in that, it almost makes you feel invincible when you're playing it. My wife Lynn, she loves Truxton as well. She even has it on her phone. But I said, you got to try this. And just before the show, I'm like, you got to try Musha. And she's like, I've never played it before. She goes, you know what? I think I like Truxton better. It's harder. And I'm like, hey, personal preference. So, but yeah, that is my number 5, Musha. And I will say that this is a repro. This is definitely not the real thing. This is absolutely a repro.
I got you.
There was a lot of good shmups. Like
I can't remember any more than that. That's terrible.
The Thunder Force series was really
Thunder
good.
Force. Thank you.
If you're looking at the big difference, like I've always gravitated towards platformers, and Super Nintendo did that really well. Whereas if you were into fighting games or shooters, I thought the Genesis was vastly superior to the Super Nintendo with those genres.
And Dave's Midnight Gaming Entertain, blah blah blah. Just mentioned Gaiares, and I bought the reissue of that one with the T-shirt that came out about 2 or 3 years ago, and I still haven't opened it yet. It is just sitting there staring at me, open me. But I'm like, nah, I'm just playing it in emulation. I'm good. But that one's hard as nails. I think Gaiares is hard.
Belmont
as nails.
knows. Belmont.
Yeah, Belmont. What's up, Belmont?
All right. Well, the old guy gets to share his pick now. I'm going to go ahead and bring it to the stage, and it's the Punisher.
Yes.
I like beat 'em ups, and Mike was alluding to beat 'em ups and shoot 'em ups on the Genesis. They did well, and I like it. This is a Capcom game. This is one of those games that if you have a friend, it's fun to play. You can't play against each other, but it's a co-op kind of thing. I'm trying to remember. Let me see.
We're middle-aged nerds. We don't have friends, Phil.
Yeah, you can
Not
either
anymore.
you can play as either the Punisher or Nick Fury, and obviously there are different moves depending on the button combinations and whatnot. And I want to say I think there's only no, that's not the one. I don't know how many continues there are in this one. I don't know if you can play to the end or not, just randomly. I think you have to. I think there may be some limitations. I can't really remember, but it's a good.
I've never heard requiring skill described as a limitation.
Yes, I live that way.
If you like this version of the Punisher, I'm sure you'd like the one for the 360. I think not the 360.
Look at
the
that
original,
graphics right
Xbox.
Graphics
It's
are great.
just it's beautiful. I mean, it's right out of the comics, and that is one of my favorite comic book heroes as well, or anti-heroes, I should say.
Now, see, and I will say that was one. A couple things on that. Like one, the time that came out, I somehow completely missed. Like I didn't even know that there was a Genesis port of that, because now I played the crap out of the arcade version, and I will say they did good with the port, but the arcade version, I mean, there's definitely a difference like between the two. Like it's not like it's very like you just with different things like the sprites and things like that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, and that's also one because it was Capcom. You know, now again, I know they didn't actually make it. I think it was someone else who got the rights for it from them to make it. Actually, I think it said that right in the beginning too. I think Sculpture made it, but
at this point in time, Capcom was known for quality.
Oh, yeah.
No, it was.
Yeah.
But it was also surprising that it just wasn't on Super Nintendo, because I do think that particular game would have probably played better on the Super Nintendo, just with it, being closer to the arcade version. So
Sacrilege on a Genesis stream, Brian.
Hey, like I said, I'm a huge Genesis fan. But,
I hear.
But I mean, there's no question though. At times, like if you compare like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, when you compare the Genesis version to the Super Nintendo version, there's definitely differences. Not that either one's a bad game, because they're absolutely not. They're both really good
When
games.
you compare that, Nintendo does.
Yes, yes.
Well, also
I caught that.
The Battletoads game too. I mean, comparing those, and even comparing the one with the NES. I mean, big differences. Even on the 16-bit era there.
All right. Well, Michael, you're up. Number 4.
Number 4. This is one that I didn't get to until the late 90s, but Shinobi 3.
Oh, yeah.
I like the Shinobi series. I've never been the biggest fan of the Shinobi series, but Shinobi 3 is just really awesome in how it's my favorite of the series. I understand that might be controversial for some. But just for me, it felt the best. There was some awesome boss fights. I think, I remember when I first got to this boss fight right here, man, it just felt so awesome. Looked so great. I really, really, really like Shinobi 3. It plays like a Shinobi game. I mean, if you've played other games in the series, you will be familiar with how this plays. But this is just my favorite of that series, and I had a lot of fun playing it when I first realized it was a thing.
It's not a bad pick. I mean, like I said, I've always been a Shinobi fan. Right there, because you had Ninja Gaiden on the NES, the Nintendo side of stuff, and you had Shinobi on the Sega side of stuff, and I mean, even on the Master System, I like the original Shinobi, and the Genesis. Actually, it was just a shame that it only got 2 Shinobis. It had Revenge of Shinobi and this one, and there was a big disparity because this came out toward the end of the console, where Revenge of Shinobi was, I don't know, it wasn't like one of the first, but it was definitely within like, I believe that first year of the console, it came out. So,
and I think that's true for a lot of systems. Like some of the best NES games came out after people had already bought Super
right.
Nintendo. And some of the best Genesis games came out when people were moving on to PlayStation and other, Nintendo 64 or whatever. And it's a shame, but the great thing about being a retro gamer and going back is that, and especially with ROM collections now and emulators, is you can go back and you can play all these late releases that you never even knew existed.
No, I'm looking forward to the new Shinobi because honestly, I've just been waiting for Black Friday here because I'm almost sure Steam's going to have it on sale, and that's when I'm going to buy it because I need to get that and the new Ninja Gaiden. So
yeah, Ninja Gaiden was that 4, right? Isn't it 4?
No,
Is it?
I think that's coming, but no, they made another 2D one. I forget the actual title. Someone in the chat might be able to say. I can look it up real quick, but they did make a new one that looks really good, and it literally released, I think, maybe a couple weeks before the new Shinobi released. So it all got clouded there.
Yeah.
But
to this comment here,
really good.
to this comment here, I loved Vector Man. It was one of those, like, it kind of had the same appeal as Donkey Kong Country, where it looked like nothing else. Like with the spheres and all. It didn't make my list, but Vector Man was a great game.
Mm-hmm.
And Big Doomer and Andy Author are saying Ragebound.
Yep, it is. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Yep.
Ragebound. Thank you.
Yeah, that one's on my wish list on Steam too, because again, waiting for the big Steam Black Friday sale to hit. So
all right. Well, Brian, that means you're up now.
Yeah, so my number 4, and again, I forget what episode, but I brought this one up before. But again, when you look at nostalgia and just games I enjoyed a lot growing up, was Castle Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
and
I knew that would be on your list.
I thought you would pick that.
And I'm not upset about it. Castle Illusion's a great game.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's an amazing platformer, and again, coming from the NES era where Capcom did so well with those Disney titles that you would have pretty much thought that no one else would be able to do it as well as Capcom did, or even better. And Sega's like, hold my beer, and ultimately here it is, and such a good game. And like I said, graphically for its time, it was amazing graphics, the sprites, the animation, like sprite animations in it, the level designs, being in like the haunted forest, the toy level, all that different stuff. I mean, just an amazing platformer that still holds today. Like, this is still such a fun game to play, just to pick up and go with.
It is, but whenever I play it, despite how good it is, I always feel like a child because I'm playing as Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yes.
As an adult, I'm like, my kids are like, what are you playing? I'm like, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse.
Up. Well, and with that said, that they did remake this, so you can get the modernized version of this on like Steam and other stores. Now for the Genesis, they did make a few sequels, like World of Illusion, things like that. But again, great. They did such an amazing job on that. Like, I don't care if I'm playing Mickey Mouse. It's a good game. So.
Oh, I don't care if nobody else is watching, but I live in a family with 5 people here, so I get called out for playing as kid characters all the time.
Well, I mean, that's a fantastic game, but one of the ones I had to fight not getting on this list was Quackshot. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And what are you playing? I'm Donald Duck. It's a fun game, and the music's fun. It's just a cute game.
There's a lot of games like that too. Like one that didn't make my list, but I played the hell out of and I loved, even though it is a very flawed game, is X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I loved that game.
Now I remember real quick, and then actually I know we gotta keep going. That's one of those ones where I had like a film moment with his Pac-Man, because like I was so into the X-Men comics. I had the Jim Lee ones and like constantly reading X-Men. So it's like when X-Men came out on the Genesis, I'm like, oh yeah, I got it. And like I literally bought it like day one. And
Let
it's not
down.
it's not horrible, but man, it's not great either.
It's
in a
not making
corner.
anybody's top 5, but it's a big nostalgic one for
Yeah.
me, and
I mean,
like it.
it's definitely an acquired taste.
Well, I was playing with my brother, and I used what's the Night, whatever, the guy that like teleports, does a
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
That's it. I kept wanting to say Night Stalker, but that's a television. Nightcrawler, and I've been a Nightcrawler, and I would like transport myself on the other side of a wall, and then like trap us because I couldn't come back. And then we were just sitting on that screen, and I was like, look over my brother, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What do you think I am, an amateur?" We thought it was hilarious back in the day.
Oh, and Jason in the chat here is right. The McDonald's game is really good.
It
But
is
it
really
is
good.
not in one of my. It is not in one of my top.
Yeah, it's
top
not in
It's
mine,
a
but
great game though.
but it's an amazing game. I
Yeah.
mean,
They did really good with it.
yeah.
I honestly don't know if I've ever played that.
Oh, it's a really
You got to
good
check it out.
platform.
It's pretty surreal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Dr. Scott, number
Now,
4.
This might be a little on the surprising side because some people go, "Really, I've never heard of that game ever before," and some people go, "Oh yeah." It's
Scott, before you get to that, your buddy Radbash as a
the Night Stalker is my favorite X-Men member. They had to let him go for reasons. Yes, they did.
Sorry to interrupt.
The puzzle game, Shove It, the warehouse game. A buddy of mine told me about this a long time ago, and then I went out and found it, and I had just the cartridge for the longest time. And then about a year ago, I upgraded my cartridge, and I ended up finding the whole thing, and then I just sold the cartridge off all by itself. But the funny thing is my cartridge is actually the same one that I had. I just traded that one out because mine was actually in better shape. So, but it's a puzzle game, and I do have a little description here. It's a brain-teasing puzzle game that requires you to carefully push crates around a variety of complex warehouse layouts. So sometimes you can be, and you'll run out of turns too. So you attempt to move all the boxes into their designated spots in the fewest possible moves. And it can get really, really challenging. I've never gotten all the way to the end of it. So I think I might have to do some cheating and do some saves and stuff like that so I can actually try to get to the end of it. But it's a really, really fun game.
Mhm.
I'm not really into too many puzzle games. They have to be really, really unique. And this one is one of those unique games. And if you've never tried it, I suggest, giving it a whirl. It's actually really good.
It sounds like a Sokoban game.
It is. It is.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I've never played it.
Yep.
I like
Yeah.
Sokoban to a point.
Interesting.
Once I get to a certain difficulty level, it's like I don't want to do this anymore.
It gets very challenging. It does. And then you're like, oh, well. And then time to go to bed.
All right. Well, thanks, Scott, for that. I am, like I said, my exposure to the Genesis was somewhat limited, but I have nostalgia for some of this stuff, and it's not so much the Genesis version of the game. But this next game is Contra Hard Corps. Now,
Did you say corpse?
did I say cores?
Contra Hardcore.
Okay, sorry.
The PS is silent.
All right.
It's not a corpse.
Well, there are plenty of them in the game.
You were definitely a corpse in that game because
Yes.
the difficulty
Yeah,
level was so absolutely ridiculous.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. I haven't really gotten really far with this game, obviously, but I played the heck out of Contra 3 on the SNES, and honestly, I think this version graphically is a better version. And you guys stop.
You like Radbash's comments here.
I seen. And so I like it, and so I like it takes parallax scrolling to a whole new level.
Mhm.
Like there's so much in this game. and there's different dimensions too. Like you can, you know, you might be going from like this, like on the screen here.
Yep.
That's something that really is
Being
really cool in this game.
Chased by a really buff Vector Man.
Yeah, that's a good way to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No,
So,
yeah, and the thing is, like, this is a good pick, but like for me, like, again, this was another one of those where, luckily, at the time I bought it, it was like bargain bin, you know, because it was toward, you know, then and Genesis Electronics Boutique had it for like $20, so I bought it, and I wanted to like it so much because I am a big Contra fan, but like this is one that just, again, the difficulty is just so astronomically dumb that it honestly hurts it. And
it's Nintendo hard.
And I might be this is worse. This is worse than Nintendo hard. I mean, this I don't know, like, what pain and agony they really wanted when they're like, let's just make this to where everyone's gonna hate it, you know. Like, and especially after
this is hardcore.
Well, and then especially after you're playing Contra 3 on the Super Nintendo, you know, and it's just like, again, you compare those two. Like I said, I really wanted to like this one because I'm a big Contra fan, but again, the difficulty level definitely did not do it for me.
This one almost made my list. I do prefer Contra 3, but I do really like this game despite the difficulty.
But the thing is too, and I could be wrong, this, like, I don't think the Japanese version is as hard. Like, I think you can, if you play the import version, I might be getting
I haven't
confused.
played the Japanese version.
I haven't.
I might be getting confused with a different version, but I'm almost positive this one, the difficulty is a lot, you know, it's a lot more giving in the Japanese version. So,
mind you, Japan is the country that thought that we couldn't really over here in the West we couldn't handle RPGs, so it gave us Mystic Quest. So
right,
I don't know.
All right. Having said that, let's move on. Mike, number 3.
My number 3. All right, let me press play here. I did not come into this game until the early 2000s. Ooh. And when I did, I absolutely fell in love with it. It's called Granada. It is a top-down shooter. Yeah. The controls take a little bit of getting used to. But it's got a story and all that, but this is a Genesis, so who the hell cares about the story? You play as this little tank thing, and you get to go around and destroy bases. And I think at one point you're on like this big flying fortress thing that you've got to take out. And you got to take out the engines and stuff. But just, certainly not the best looking Genesis game. There are a lot better looking Genesis games, but man, just the gameplay, once you kind of get it, is just, oh, here you go. You're on the plane there. Just, man, it feels so good. And I remember playing, and they were like twin stick games in the arcade that were like this. Mm-hmm. And I always gravitated to those kind of games. And so to have one of those on a console that plays as well as this one plays, again, there's a learning curve, but it does, once you get it, it does play really, really well, and it feels really good. I can't say enough positive things about Granada.
Yeah, that is on the Sega Genesis Mini 2, and I tried it for the first time like as soon as I got this, and wow, what a fantastic game. And like you said, it's not the most gorgeous game, but it is certainly challenging, and it is not something that I was like, I'm not giving up on it because it's that hard. It's got a lot of great gameplay, and anybody who plays it will not be disappointed, I don't think.
Absolutely.
All right. So that would be Brian, number 3.
Yeah, my number 3, because this one is probably my favorite of the series, on the Genesis, is Streets of Rage 2. Such a good game. Obviously,
I was waiting to see some more beat 'em ups.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, Sega needed their final fight, and therefore they came up with the Streets of Rage, and they did good. Like the first one was good, but man, the improvements, like just on everything, going from Streets of Rage to Streets of Rage 2, I mean, it's such a huge difference, just graphically, gameplay wise, everything. Like to me, this was the pinnacle one. Now, not that I hate 3, but I don't like 3 as much as I do 2. But again, soundtrack's awesome, graphics are great, everything's just great about this game. And there's something to be said too when there's so many ROM hacks of this game with different characters, and it's just because this is such a well done, beat 'em up style game. So
it's one of the classics.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, good
And
choice.
yes, so everybody, because there is a lot of nipple talk on the comments of Scott's simulcast
Mine in
here.
particular.
So he's staying PG. I am bringing some of them up. None of them have crossed that PG line, but we got it. Like, you're not going to see any nipples on stream, guys.
No.
Scott's nipples are for the green room.
Only for the green room.
I'm out then.
And that's okay.
Uh,
Does this look pussy to you? No. But anyway, you got to see a doctor, Scott. No pun intended. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's a great pick, Brian. And I definitely agree. That definitely better than the first one. But there's something about the third one it's still a decent game, but there's just something special about Streets of Rage 2. The only thing I would have changed when that game came out, I wouldn't have called it Streets of Rage 2. I would have called it TOO, just to be funny. That's it. Sorry.
And this is why you're not the head of marketing at Sega.
That is true. That is true. But we would have all failed together. But anyway, this might be the only actual sports game that anybody has picked here. And I'm not really big on a lot of sports games, but this one just holds a special place in my heart. There's a lot of nostalgia for this one. I love PGA Tour 3. As a matter of fact, I actually own 2 copies of this, funnily enough. The music in this game, the first time I ever played this was on the Macintosh, and I was dating a girl who went to Bowling Green State University before I came out here. And then she went home for the summer to visit her parents in Maryland. And when I went out there, she was working, and her brothers, they're like playing a game in their study or whatever, and they were playing this game, and I'm like, "What are you playing?" And I fell in love. It's before they started having like the arc for the silly the swing and everything. It's just a straight bar and everything. Fantastic music in this, and if you're playing it on a PC or a Macintosh, the music's even better. And see, Jason Graves understands absolutely.
Did you bring a golf game to our best Genesis game?
I sure did. You're
the same man that brought Super Mario Brothers to our most difficult NES games. We got to have an intervention here, Scott.
But I'm going to make up for it. With
I would have accepted the NHL 94.
You see,
I would have accepted that.
I almost got my Mutant League hockey out but I don't.
A good one too.
It is, but I just have more nostalgia for this one, and it just beat it out by a hair. So,
it's your
we'll
favorite.
allow it.
It's one of your favorites.
It's one of my favorites.
That's why it's on the list.
Part of my job here is to bust everybody's balls.
And I know that.
You know what? You do your job very well.
I think so too.
And every once in a while, I get them busted in return. That's okay.
I think the man has done a great job of busting balls tonight, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, big hand for Mike.
All right. On that note, I'm going to tell you my number 3. Now, my number 3 is not probably one of the better games on the system. I chose it because I wanted to tell a story about it. It is Mortal Kombat. Now, the story of Mortal Kombat on the Genesis is different than that on the Super Nintendo, because Nintendo had a policy where they wanted to keep their games, for children, and they didn't want to have blood and guts and gore and whatnot.
Which is why we always played Mortal Kombat on the Genesis.
Exactly. And that's so it appealed to older kids and to adults even.
And younger kids who wanted to feel like older kids.
Yeah. And this game was so controversial, this version, especially was so controversial that it sparked congressional hearings on Capitol Hill, and I believe it helped lead to ratings for games, like movie ratings, but they had ratings for actual video games. So
it was part of that whole thing. I don't know why they would have a problem with you ripping somebody's skull and spinal cord out of their body.
Mhm.
But
Well,
also-
and I think Night Trap was the
Yeah.
like the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah,
at the
that was
time.
a big one.
Yeah.
But I mean, by comparison to today, I mean, we look at these graphics now and it's
So
so
tame.
cartoony, so tame.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, and to your point, I mean, the reality is we all gravitated toward the Genesis one because it was the closest to the arcade. Because again, if you weren't playing Mortal Kombat for the reasons that Nintendo took it out, it was like at that point I might as well play Street Fighter. So obviously you're playing Mortal Kombat on the Genesis. Now I will say, graphically, the Super Nintendo version definitely looked better. And
But
Yeah.
the blood was
again,
great.
the fact that you didn't have the true fatalities and the blood and all that, it was just like, nope, I'm going for the Genesis. Now I will say when they released the Sega CD version, that one looked a lot better than the original Genesis version. But yeah, I mean, obviously we all gravitated to the Genesis version. We didn't care that it didn't look as good. So
Well, and the fact and the fact that people made such a fuss about blood or the fatalities and stuff made us want to play it.
Mhm.
It was like
right.
even if you never cared about, like, for my money, the better fighting game is Street Fighter 2.
Mhm.
By far. But you played Mortal Kombat because it was a big deal that it was gory.
Yep.
yeah.
Well, and Nintendo learned quick because when Mortal Kombat 2 came out, they were all for it.
Yep.
I mean, so they realized how bad the sales were on their version.
Well, that's how come they never came out with Kitten Combat or anything like that, meow, meow, because nobody wanted to play that.
Right.
My daughter would
if
play that.
if you never had a 6-button,
Yeah.
that would have been, I couldn't even imagine that.
But you see, when it came to Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, I remember buying that on the Super Nintendo, and I remember that being just as horrific, if in quotes, as the Genesis version. Maybe my memory is,
Oh, no,
Well, I
I
think
mean,
by that time they were
was
like,
only-
"Oh, just do it."
Yeah, it was only the original
Yeah.
that had that issue, and then
Yeah.
after there was such a disparity. I mean, I hate this. I mean, I can't say for sure, but like that was a console seller for Sega.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, when people were like, "Oh crap, I want the true fatalities and the blood," I'm buying
And
the
it
Sega
also
Genesis
went-
just for Mortal Kombat.
It also went right into their marketing of we're the big boy console.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, I had the first two on the Genesis, so
Yeah.
that
Hmm.
All right.
Good pick. Certainly an iconic pick.
It's
Yeah.
iconic, and it sparked a lot of conversation. So, all right, Michael, number 2.
Number 2. Dr. Scott knows where I'm coming from. Dr. Scott's wife definitely knows where I'm coming from. And Mad Belmont in the chat knows where I'm coming from. Because Classic Game Room introduced me to Truxton.
And I'm going to grab something real quick. Behind me. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
Truxton is my favorite shooter on the Genesis. It may not be the best one,
Truxton.
but it wasn't until Classic Game Room started going on about this all the time that I went and I got the ROM and I played it. I don't own a physical copy of this game.
I just sold one because it was just loose. I want the actual complete in box one.
Complete
that's
in
why I sold
box.
it. Yep.
It's more than any other shooter on the Genesis. I've always looked at the TurboGrafx 16 as a shooter console.
Hmm.
I love the shooters on there. And this feels so much like Blazing Lasers to me
Yep.
in many ways, which is one of my favorite shooters of all time. Ever since I first downloaded this and played it, I absolutely fell in love with it. It's one of my favorite shooters, full stop. I'm a big fan of Truxton, and I have Mark from Classic Game Room to thank for that.
And I took this to Pittsburgh with me, and I drew this myself a couple days
wow.
beforehand.
Here, let me bring this down so we can see that bigger.
And this is Mark Busler's signature.
Nice.
Yeah, but because we were going to have a Truxton tournament when we were there, and I could not stay because I was having some blood pressure issues Saturday afternoon, and I thought it just to be safe. I mean, I had a new diet, I had new pills, I was far away from home. Just the perfect storm. I said, you know what, I'll just go home, and we didn't have the Truxton tournament, but you know, we were gonna do this. And I asked Mark when I was talking with him, like, hey, will you sign this? He goes, oh yeah, no problem. So yeah, but yeah, absolutely. You know, what a great game. And you should try it on mobile. It's actually really good. It really is.
And the Trollmaster here is saying that the Genesis still gets new AAA quality games, the most active aftermarket of any retro console. I don't know if that's true, but I know there is a huge Genesis homebrew scene and some great stuff coming out for it. I haven't gone in like measured output for every console, but
I've
certainly
seen a lot
a
of good ones
contender.
coming out. Yeah,
It's certainly a contender.
Yeah.
Well, and again, when we talk about the homebrews, I know because I think might be available now because I played the demos of both. Go ahead.
I prefer Truxton to Musha.
Mm-hmm.
Barely. Musha's a great game.
I go back and forth, but when I was saying earlier about Musha, I think that when it comes to the gameplay and everything, there might be a little more for me on Truxton, but when it comes to the music and the visuals, it's more Musha,
which is a big part of it.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, you're up.
Yeah. One thing I'll just mention quick. Yeah, because I was just going through here and bringing it up. It's just no, I mean the homebrew scene on the Genesis is definitely good, and I know like when we talk about some of these shmups and stuff that two that I'm looking really forward to is ZPF and Eartheon or Eartheon, however you say it, but both I think are going to be great just based off of like the demos I played. So
I got to write those down.
Yeah, because ZPF, I know that one's releasing soon from Mega Cat Studios. Eartheon or Eartheon, however you say it, I think I know it's on Steam right now, but I think
I know that one.
But there is a physical Genesis one coming soon. I think Limited Run's going to be doing it. So, but yeah, no. So my number 2 is again, one of the main reasons I wanted a Genesis to begin with, which was the original, but obviously they improved on the sequel, and that's Golden Axe 2. And I mean, Golden Axe is just such a good series, and I wish there was more of it. I know they're making a new one. I can't wait. I hope they don't screw it up. But I mean, if they make it like how they did Streets of Rage 4 and stuff, I think it'll be an amazing game. But no, I mean, Golden Axe, the original, was really good on the console. It was a very faithful port. Not a perfect port, but it was very faithful for its time. And Golden Axe 2 was designed for the Genesis, and like they just improved. Again, everything was improved correctly, and it just played really well. Music was great, graphics was even better. Very, very great gameplay. And
I'm picturing a young BD Retro Mod saying, "This is correctly done."
Well, and the thing is again, I'm such
awesome.
And again, I'm such a Golden Axe fan that I even have Golden Axe 3 imported.
Oh wow!
Because it never had an official U.S. release.
Yeah.
Now, like in the Sega Genesis collection, I know it was in there, and I think they added it on one of the Genesis minis as well, but I could be wrong on that. But again, this was also a good one in my opinion. Now, some people have some mixed things with it, but I think this was done and well done, and I'm actually surprised we didn't see it over here, and not sure what the whole reasoning for that was, but again, your same typical Golden Axe formula that works.
Yep.
So
hey, if you got a working formula, stick to it.
Yeah,
that's right.
Two almost made my list too. That would be my top 10, but it didn't make the top 5. Great game.
Mhm.
Great game.
So what was your top 2, Scott?
Well, we haven't got there yet.
Oh, wait a minute.
Well, we're there now, number 2.
Oh, well, we're on.
Number 2.
Oh, you're asking for what number 2 is.
Yeah, no, I don't want you to go number 2. I want you to tell me number 2.
Wow, it's such a dirty show tonight. I love it.
I didn't even bring up the thong comment.
There was a thong comment.
There was a
whatever.
thong comment.
We'll just go straight to my number 2 here, and it's RoboCop versus the Terminator.
Oh, that
Imagine that.
Yes,
that's a good one.
I had it for the Super Nintendo.
I also have it for the Super Nintendo, and not the same game, and nowhere near as good. Yeah. But I think this one is brutally more difficult, and a lot prettier game too, and a lot bloodier, of course. But this was one of the first reviews I ever did on the channel. I probably like within the first 5 or 6 videos I did. Oh gosh, it's almost embarrassing to watch now. The concept that I had really worked because I'm talking to, I'm talking to RoboCop and I'm talking to the Terminator, and they're fighting with each other, and they still appear on the channel to this day, in one form or another, and they have appeared several times, but it's because of this game. And when you go up against Ed 209 in this, you think you're just you think you've seen the worst, but then as soon as RoboCop 2 comes out, oh my gosh, how are you going to pull that off? And then you finally beat him. It's such a wonderful game, and it's not the cheapest game anymore either. But thank heaven I got hold of mine when I did, complete and everything. So yeah, I mean, if you've never played this one, absolutely grab a copy of it, because it's so fun. The music's great. The hit detection I think is spot on. But I just think that sometimes I would get rather overwhelmed playing it, and I had to think to myself, you're not playing smart. And so then I kind of just slowed my thinking down, started watching where things were coming, and memorizing where things were popping out of windows and stuff, and that's how I would get through it.
Oh, that's how you have to get through all of these games from this era and even prior. They're memorization games.
Yeah.
Good choice. I'm gonna have to check that one out, because I don't know if I've ever really played that one.
Oh, Phil, it's so fun.
I watched you play a RoboCop game where you kept trying to shoot civilians, Bliss. So.
Was that me?
And then you said,
about me?
and then you said you weren't. So I clipped the part that you did.
Oh, that was like 3 years ago.
It in our Discord. Yeah, that was years ago.
Okay.
No, right. Wily Wars is good. I will say I did not include that in mine simply because it wasn't an original North America release. I mean, I know Retrobit ended up bringing it out here a few years back.
Yeah, I got a repro card of it.
Yeah, but that's the only reason why I didn't mention that one. But I mean, it was definitely a good.
I love it, but it's also so weird playing Mega Man with a Genesis controller.
Yeah, yeah.
One thing I will say about this is, I believe the very same people. This is Virgin. They made the Terminator game, I believe, as well for the Genesis, and that plays very similarly, and it's also very good. So I would check that one out too.
All right. Well, I love shooters, and this one is one that I was familiar with. So I've played this one a number of times. So I thought, I'm going to put it on the list, and that's Raiden Trad. And
that's a good one. Another one I forgot about.
This one's fun. You have 3 different fires. You have your bullets, you have your bombs, and then they're like that explosion right there. You have an explosion right there. The music in this game is fantastic, and to me that adds to the playability and the fun of the game. And so I really like this game. It's just a shooter. It's just,
There's
but I
a lot of
really
great
enjoy playing
shooters
it.
that you can pick for the Genesis, though.
Yeah, no, I mean that whole
Really?
series is good, and I mean they still make new ones of it
Yeah.
now. I mean, so I have a couple of them on the Switch, and it's just yeah, I enjoy the series. I have both this version and the Super Nintendo version, and like them both. So I
Yeah.
mean, very good game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Sega Genesis one is a lot more expensive to obtain today,
Yeah.
but compared to the Super Nintendo. But
Okay. We are at number 1, guys.
Yeah.
Mike, what was your
Number one.
all-time favorite? What is your all-time favorite Genesis?
My all-time favorite Genesis game is Mega Turrican. So I've always been a fan of run and guns, like in the Contra vein. Mega Turrican, to me, even more than Contra Hardcore, is Genesis' answer to games like Contra. You've got weapon upgrades that you can get. It looks great.
Yeah.
It sounds great. It plays beautifully. I love this game so much. It's really just it's a like a you can see right here. It's a run and gun, and it's just so much fun.
no,
Go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say I agree with you. Mega Turrican is a lot of fun. Now, with that said, I could not get into the original Turrican on the console. Like I don't know
I hear ya.
why. I don't know why. And I think it's because, and again, I could be wrong on this. Weren't these originally on the Amiga, and then they ported them?
I'm not sure. I'm not
Okay,
sure.
because for some reason I think that's the case, and the original really felt like a PC game, and it didn't just feel right on the Genesis. And I
I
think
hear you on that.
but I did really like Mega Turrican though.
Yeah, it's my kind of game. I'm going to do a really quick honorable mention as well, and I am going to say share this tab instead. Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton
If you haven't
Crew.
played
Mhm.
orthographic shooter, you've got unlimited ammo, so just go nuts, and you're shooting like these alien guys are coming after. I remember loving that animation where
So
like guys
fun.
like
Mhm.
there were
3D.
games like No Remorse and stuff like that on the PC around this era. I loved the isometric games. I loved the original isometric Fallout games, although they're obviously definitely way different kind of gameplay. But this just missed my top 5s, but I wanted to add it in as an honorable mention. I love Skeleton Crew.
I mean, this the only it's a little on the clunky side, but it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so pretty. And then that's yet another reason why I like the game Loaded on the PS1, because it feels like this game, but they polished it. It's just really, I mean, both of them really good games. I mean, you can't play this game, and I mean, what is like when you have the saw blades in the floor and stuff. I mean, that's a really nice detail when you see that, but you got to watch out for them, of course. But what a fun game.
Looks wonderful.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
All right, Brian, number 1.
Yeah, so trying to think, is there so I was looking at the one question, is there any official Star Wars games for the Genesis? I don't think, because there was one on, I know, for
One on the
European Master
32X.
System, and then there was the
Yeah, there was
arcade
Star Wars
on the
Arcade.
32X, but I don't believe there was any actual Star Wars on the Genesis. So,
Which is a shame we didn't get some
Yeah.
Super Star Wars on there.
It might have been just down to licensing, and Nintendo beat them to it.
yeah, I have no idea,
Possible.
because like I said, you had it on the Master System over in Europe, but you didn't. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, that Star Wars Arcade is the only thing I can think of, and that was technically the 32X.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no. So my number 1, and this again, if you've watched some past episodes, this isn't going to be a surprise, but Phantasy Star 4.
I would have been very disappointed if there wasn't a Phantasy Star game on somebody's list.
Yeah, I mean, this I don't have enough good things to say about this. Like I mean, this was just, again, this was a very expensive cart when it came out, because again, it was a high meg cart, that I don't remember the exact size because I don't think it even says on it. But oh yeah, it does 20. It's a 24 meg cart. So like
24 mega power.
Yeah. So but again, it's just so well done. I mean, and you can tell like they wanted to go out with a bang. Like you could tell they put so much time and energy in this. Like, I mean, as you can see, it's the explosive finale of the series, and like they held no punches back. I mean, graphically, some of the best, graphics you'll see on the Genesis. The gameplay was the tried and true Phantasy Star formula that you saw from Phantasy Star 2. Because Phantasy Star 3, they kind of changed it up a little bit. Wasn't liked as much. They went back to the Phantasy Star 2 style. The storyline was just amazing. It was worth every penny to have this game. I mean, if you like RPGs or JRPGs, this is one you have to play. You don't even have to play the previous ones. Just play this one. It's so well done.
Yeah, Mad Belmont, I think you are not alone. I think there are a lot of people who haven't played any Phantasy Star games, but you should. The whole series.
Yes.
And
Phantasy Star 4 might be the best of them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Those are games that I respect. I respect the games themselves and what they. I mean, I'm not a turn-based or JRPG fan at all. But I can watch people play them. I just don't have the patience. I mean, if I'm not blasting something to pieces and just walking on through, but Phantasy Star. I mean, even look at the box on that. A lot of the Sega Genesis era, the art is just beautiful, but just the cover art on that, gorgeous.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah, and like when I was younger and a teenager and all that, I played a lot of JRPGs. As an adult, I don't have the time to.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot, like what's the recent one that came out, number 31, or I don't know what is. There was an RPG that everybody's talking about, and it looks fantastic, but there is no way I have the time to play that.
Oh no, I don't have the time like I used to either. But I mean, if you're gonna say I want to go back and play a 16-bit JRPG,
Expedition 33,
that's the one.
That's it. Not number 31.
Yeah, you need to do this one, and again, you don't have to worry about playing the previous ones. I mean, you're not gonna miss anything. Like it's really good. You gotta play it.
Poe, that comment's not going up. This is a controller.
Remote.
All right, Dr. Scott.
Scott.
Well,
it's not a remote.
No, it's not.
Thank you.
It is not. No. Well, Poe, he's fun. And yes, probably the hug he gave me the high blood pressure. He's probably right. But anyway, it was so difficult to come to this particular choice, especially since there are 3 of these games for the Genesis and for the Super Nintendo. And I have Jungle Strike, sequel to Desert Strike. And I used to have the actual clamshell one, and I've got the Made in Mexico box here, which I'm not happy. I would like to reobtain one of those, but every time I go to a store, or if I go to a con, I always find one that's beat up or it's missing something or something like that. So I've got what I've got for right now. And I see you later, Rad. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. A good deal, not all, but a good deal of my Genesis collection I sold off in chunks and part of in one lot. And that was one of them. And it was difficult for me to choose this one versus Urban Strike, because I got Urban Strike on Christmas Day, whatever year it came out, 92, I think it was, 93, something like that. And I whipped through that game in 2 days, and I wish I would have never sold my original one, but I have a lot of nostalgia for that one because my parents bought that one for me. They're, whoa, what do you want? I'm like, I told them. And, here I'm an adult asking mommy and daddy to buy me, toys, but they asked what I wanted. And I don't know how old I was back then. What, 20 something, 20.
I'm in my 40s. I would still have no shame asking my parents for games.
Well,
I thought they would buy them for me.
Well, I mean, I'd have to have a Ouija board do that for me, but now, but still, no, I wouldn't either. But when it comes to the gameplay and everything, nostalgia is with the other game, but this one just had so much more than Desert Strike did, and there's just so many layers to it, and you have so many different vehicles. I think you even have a stealth boat in here. You can get in and go around and blast people to pieces. But anytime there's a helicopter game, and if the controls are right, give me more of that. And that's how I felt about all the Strike games, but especially Jungle Strike. So, but my honorable mention would have been Toe Jam and Earl, the original, just because. What a fantastic game, and you can play it play a couch co-op too, split screen. So yeah, there you go. That's
Nice.
my number one.
Nice. Well, I mentioned beat 'em ups as my number 5, and my number 1 is also beat 'em up. You guys may, like I said from the outset, because of my experience, you may not agree. I don't care. This was my number 1, and it's Streets of Rage 2. Okay.
Nothing wrong with that pick.
No,
man.
not at all.
Is. What's nice about this one is you can play it with a friend, where they, you do a co-op, but you can also play head to head. You can fight each other, which is kind of a neat option that wasn't really in a lot of beat 'em ups. And this is one of those games that I have a controller by BD Retro Mods that is like an arcade stick.
Really?
So
How are those, Phil?
they're okay. They're all right.
He only has like 20 of them in his house.
But this is one that he made me a Bubsy one. Remember that? He made me
I
a
remember
Bubsy
that
one.
one.
Yeah.
And so I like playing this game with that. And and obviously there are different moves that you can do depending on your button combination and the speed at which you're doing them and all that. But anyway, it's just a fun, all out. You can only continue twice though. You can only continue twice. So if you you better be doing good. I can't be cheating like I do on the live streams when I'm playing arcade versions and and keep throwing the quarters in. You can't do that in this game. You have two continues and that's it. But it's a lot of fun and I like it. So anyway, that was my number 1.
You know what? BD Retro Mods hasn't given his honorable mention just to appease Mad Belmont. Please say Castlevania.
Well, no, honestly, I mean, and I'm not saying it just because of that post, but I would say as an honorable mention, that would have been my number 6. And
I was surprised that wasn't mentioned.
Well,
it's a great game. It is a great game.
Again, it's a very good game. And again, maybe I'm rating it wrong in the sense of, but when I compare it to other versions of Castlevania, like it's not my favorite Castlevania out of the others. Like I feel there's some stronger Castlevania games. Now the fact that was the only one on the Genesis, and I have the maiden, I don't want to say, I don't know, the clamshell version, the original before it had the Made in Mexico version. So I mean, I own it. I mean, because again, I am a big Castlevania fan, but there was just I felt there was just some other ones that were just stood out a little more. But it's definitely, if I had a top 10, that would have definitely been mentioned.
And I mean, anyone with the tag Mad Belmont, he's going to be looking for his Castlevania fix. Yeah. So that's all right.
Because like even in the top 10, I would have had the Genesis version of Batman, Genesis version of Ghostbusters, again, Hyperstone Heist, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If I could have gone in the top 10, the Valis series, but again, there's just so much good stuff on the Genesis. It's honestly so hard to only say what's 5. you know?
I forget
great
a lot
library.
of them because I used to have the game Poltergeist, and that what a fun and innovative game that was. And I wish I could get hold of another copy of it, but I'm not going to spend $105, $110 for it. I'm just not going to do it.
I think it was a fun show
You
tonight.
can get the ROMs, and there's millions of ways to play those.
Yeah.
Not that we endorse that.
Some of us, that's the only way we could play.
Certainly with
anyway.
some of the rarer ones.
Yeah. All right, guys. Listen, I appreciate you guys being. This was on the show. This was a fun one. Even though I don't have a lot of nostalgia, just listening to your picks and your explanation of the picks, it gave me food for thought of what I should try next. So I appreciate that. Now we do have some episodes that we've talked about doing that are we got lined up. But if you guys have an idea for a podcast, hit me up at retroblissgaming@gmail.com, or if you know how to get a hold of Mike, let him know. We would love to hear from you, and we've had some good suggestions in the past, and we are definitely open to that. So with that, I appreciate
next week we do have a topic for next week. We're going to be talking about the new stuff coming from Valve, the Steam Machine,
yes,
the VR thing.
Yeah, and we're going to have Keo.
Yep.
Keo Daikin's going to be on the show. He's got an opinion on it. You may or may not want to hear it.
I want to hear any opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we try to give you varying opinions on this show, and you definitely will have varying opinions probably next week. So,
Casey, no, it hasn't. It's been 3 weeks. We talked about the sprint.
how soon we forget. All right, guys, listen. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Retro Bliss Rewind podcast, and I appreciate you guys hanging with me on the Retro Bliss gaming channel. You guys know I've been going through some things. I have a doctor's appointment on Thursday to try to address some of this.
And I am not that doctor.
No. Unfortunately, I wish you had what ailed me, but you don't. So anyway, I appreciate all of you guys. And with that, we will see you next time on Retro Bliss Rewind.